Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Kevin Schulteis, uh, leadership life coach in training. It is January 1st, and of course, what most people like to do on January 1st or whatever is to look up their resolutions. Or in this case, yeah, so the resolutions. And yeah, that's a good thing. Now, what I done a long time ago was got involved in a leadership group, and they have challenged me immensely on all kinds of things. And what you want to do is learn to, and I mess this up all the time, but you got to get back on the horse and keep learning. Uh, One of the first lessons I ever learned is it's better to be taught, or it's it's better to be reminded than taught. Meaning you already know this stuff. You already know what a good diet is, right? It's whether or not you're doing it or not. That's the key. It's not knowing sometimes new information. Although you want to keep learning because the new information does improve yourself. But we don't even do the good stuff that we already know that we want to do, but we don't do. The Bible has a good verse on that in Romans. Uh, but the point is, so New Year's people make resolutions, and years ago I learned the value of other people making resolutions. And what you want to do is actually learn to not just look at your resolutions once a year or once a year with your birthday, whether or on New Year's Day or on Christmas or something. You want to shorten the time span between when you're reviewing your life and you're checking the results. We call that the plan, do, check, and adjust thing in our life company. Basically, plan your life as much as you can. We know that God ordains our steps and stuff like that, but we can plan our life to a degree. We need to go do it. That's the D part of PDCA. Then we need to check the results. And even if we check the results, we better learn to adjust. A lot of people check the results, don't like the results, but then they don't adjust and they keep going back to the do and the plan. They think that doing and the plan that they had originally is still going to keep working if they don't adjust what they're doing. So you need to adjust. And that's what looking at resolutions does. If you shorten the time span, you go from years into doing a checkup on your life to months to weeks to every day to even hourly or even every few minutes. Kind of keep asking yourself, is what I'm doing the most important thing? And yeah, so I started learning the power of looking at different characters in history that had a lot of fruit on the tree and did resolutions. They actually wrote out a list of resolutions and then they read them all the time. They read them every day. Ben Franklin became famous for 13 resolutions, and Jonathan Edwards and George Washington, they all started out a certain way, and because they wrote out resolutions and they read them all the time, they slowly became more and more lined up with those resolutions. They became who the person is that they wanted to write down. So years ago, um, uh, at this kind of outset, at the beginning of our life leadership company, um, Orrin Woodward had a whole series on resolutions, and for his book Resolved. So that's that book right there, and that did amazing wonders. Um, and it's a great huge read. So if you're interested um, in that, that's called Resolved, and basically he goes through his 13 resolutions, which are pretty amazing, and he also goes through other people's resolutions, like George Washington's and Ben Franklin's and Jonathan Edwards, and a ton of other people's throughout life, and they have tons of historic examples, and yeah, it's quite amazing. So out of that 13 resolutions book, actually came the mental fitness challenge pack as well, and that lets you walk through your life um, doing your resolutions, right? It's not what um, somebody's telling you what to do, but it's what you want out of life. And so many times we just keep do in life, and we keep forgetting. I forget all the time. I'm not where I want to be, but uh, this is a good reset. There are times, bigger times than others, that people do a gut check. January 1st tends to be one of them. Christmas, your birthday. Another big gut check is usually when somebody dies. You're full of regret of missed opportunities. Don't be like that. Um, and resolve to change today, right? There's that saying, when's the best time to plant a tree, you know, and whether it's 10 or 20 years ago, the second best time is today. So resolve to be different and start today. Learn to start doing stuff. So one of my resolutions, so after this talk in May, it would have been the week earlier, I believe, we would have had a leadership seminar. So it would be 1 week. This would be either the Saturday, the week after. It was early in the morning. I couldn't sleep anymore, and I needed to get up. And because I had resolutions running in my head of who I wanted to be, and I've perfected these over time too. I just have this big giant dumping ground. This is Evernote, and I suggest you kind of do the same thing. But I got all these resolutions. I got Ben Franklin's. I got a bunch from maybe other things. A lot of Bible verses, all kinds of neat stuff. But let's see, look at my first resolution. Actually, I got to look at my first and second here. So let's watch this. So I resolved to live out my life living intentionally for excellence, for my God-designed and given purpose. So, and kind of the verse, Bible verse that backs that up is, life is worth nothing unless I use it for doing the work assigned to me. And that was given to me by none other than Lord Jesus Christ. So if I'm not doing that, then life is kind of a little bit meaningless, right? And kind of another second resolution, and I have dropped the ball a million times on this, is each day resolved, meaning I've already determined that I'm going to do this, is each day I will read from my resolutions, pick one, focus on it, and commit it to memory, then live it out. I have dropped the ball on that. I haven't opened this particular resolution document in probably 6 months. So there have been times that I've done this daily. One of my resolutions is to do YouTube videos daily, and or do something daily, right? And YouTube videos is one way. I need to get into the habit of that. So here's to resolutions, and yeah, and actually on that was one of my mentors, both fruit-wise and huge in the ministry, and for just his message is is Kent Hovind, known as Dr. Dino, and he got thrown in jail for dumb law, which they're looking at repealing, which is good, but he was nonstop even in jail, and then now he's come out of jail. He's been answering people's questions and been doing YouTube videos, even though he knows nothing about YouTube and tech and stuff like that. He knows enough to get one foot in front of the other, and he's been doing videos every single day. So that's pretty amazing, and he's built up a lot of followers, and he's built up a huge reservoir, and he's gotten better and better at talking all the time. So there we go, is resolutions. That's a little bit of a zoom in of what my resolutions was. So to live out my life, living intentionally for excellence, from my God-designed and given purpose, and each day I will read from my resolutions and pick one, commit it to memory, and then live it out. So if I would have just done those, if I would have just done that one, I would have been further off, but I forget a bunch of other ones. Um, right? I want to be a great people noticer. I want to be a learning machine, grow mentally every day, read daily, good books, including, most importantly, the Bible, listen to audios, listen and associate with people. So ABC, you want to be um, associating, you want to be listening to audiobooks, you want to be reading books, and you want to be in community. So do those three things and resolve to be around people that are wanting to do those three things. Because if you don't hang around people that are also resolved and also living out good resolutions, you are going to fall into their habit and what they are doing. So anyways, that is another talk from Kevin Schulteis, the beginning of 2016, and I challenge you to live out your resolutions and write them down. Look up Ben Franklin. Look up that little bit of history. If you want, you can go to the website, check out Resolved. That's an amazing gift to yourself and to others. If you start changing, that can be the best gift that you give somebody. Learn to become different than you were last year. So, okay, have a great time.